Hey, this is Jon Johnson with Van Dyke Mortgage, and this is my presentation on get out of debt from renting to owning a home to being debt free. All right, so a couple fun facts about myself. I am the husband of a wonderful wife and 2 kids. I'm pretty good at about 5 different instruments. I can play over 10. Music is my biggest hobby, so I always love doing it. I take care of a few local churches around here. Anytime I'm not working, I'm trying to serve. So that's another big passion of mine. And I read over about 50 books per year. All right. So purpose of my lending business. So this class is the core of my lending business. I push out a lot of videos. I speak a lot about a lot of different subjects, down payment assistance, many different programs, FHA, VA, conventional, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When it comes down to it, this entire process of being able to take someone from renting to owning a home, to then leveraging that home to be able to have no debt and equity for their family, that's the main reason why I am in this business. And that's why I'm very passionate about what I'm going to go over today. All right, so step one is just understanding how much renting on average leads to lower net worth. So this is a very good flyer slash little chart that showed you on average, and this is average from 2010 to 2019, and it hasn't changed still. I know it's 2022 now, but it hasn't changed. The difference in net worth from the average person who owns a home to the average person who actually rents a property. As you can see, it's at around 6,000 to 5,000. If it's a renter, average net worth, and someone that owns a home, and this could be anyone. Someone owns a tiny property, big property, has a mortgage, doesn't have a mortgage, but on average, their average net worth has gone up 50K from 2010 to 2019. And in total, around 2019, 2020, that's about 250, 260K. And it's actually a lot more than that right now. If we do 2022 stats, but that's it. That's one of the big difference between renting and owning, is that you're getting this asset. And while your rent is going to continue to increase, owning a home, it does the exact opposite, where your home continues to go up in value. This is another pretty good flyer that I'm a huge fan of, to just wrap your head around the non-benefits of renting. And I'll preface this by saying that I have a good number of friends that rent, but I also have these friends that are, they're making 300, 400K a year. They're heavily invested in stock markets and other different places. So if you can be able to make tons of money and have your money invested in other places, and then renting can potentially work out for you, especially if you're moving around a ton. But in general, I see renting as something that is more for the rich. Marilyn, welcome to the class. We have Marilyn and Jennifer on. Marilyn, welcome in. I'm just going to not do this presentation. Any questions, just stop me at any point in time, or ask in the chats, ask it out loud. But this is, once again, the heart of my business. But once again, are you renting? This is very big to my, it just puts the numbers out there in the open. So for example, if someone is paying $2,000 a month in rent, which isn't an astronomical amount, it's pretty average in many areas. After 5 years, they paid $120,000 to someone else, and roughly $240,000 after 10 years. Many people are constantly, if they're renting, they think about interest rates. Well, if you're renting, you're paying 100% interest rates while you are renting. So owning a home, as long as you can be able to afford the monthly payments, potentially have some money put aside in case some minor repairs happen, is normally going to be the best case scenario for someone, especially in the process from renting to owning a home to being debt free. All right. Next. So I broke this down a little bit more just to show that it doesn't really matter too much about where your net worth is at. If your net worth for you and your family is less than $1 million, owning a home is going to be the primary source of your net worth. As you can see, anywhere from 10K to 100K, it's going to be 50% plus the value of the net worth. And then by the time you get to $1 million, it's spread out normally between a few different places, but that home is still worth the most. And then once you're looking at someone who has a net worth of more than $1 million, 10 million plus, they're looking at much more diversified net worth in different business interests, things of that nature, and real estate becomes a little bit less. But up until you get to about $1 million, owning a home is going to be the biggest source of your net worth. All right. So paying off homes help, but they also, just a moment, but the home also goes up in value too. So this shows you home appreciation over the last 30 years. And as you can see, it has only been green and it's only been good for about 95% of that time. The only time that we see that homes were in the red was in the 2008 situation. That's because people did not have equity in their homes. Right now, we're having some record number years of appreciation in 2020, 2021, 2022, around 13, 14, 15% right now. And that is not an unstable market right now because the majority of people do still have a ton of equity in their homes. About 40% of homes people own free and clear. So it's still a very strong market. And even though we've had a couple of recessions, we had one in 2020. They're saying that we're supposed to be in one right now. Home values are still looking good and they're still going up. Homes as an investment outpaces stocks. So there's a lot of data I'm throwing at you right now to say that buying a home is a great investment for you. And as you can see, the blue line is equity in real estate trusts. And then the red line is S&P 500. And as you can see, over the last 20, 25 years, those investments in real estate have well outpaced investments in the stock market. All right, so the process of becoming debt-free through home ownership. Step 1, purchase a home. Step 2, refinance to pay off debts. That's gonna be your process. So step 1, purchase a home. This is the entire home buying process and a very 6-step, simple and easy process. Step 1, application. Many buyers will go do 2-3 hours of YouTube, 2-3 hours of Google, days, months, etc., of everything else besides just speaking to a lender to try to complete an application. So completing the application is definitely going to be your first step. It normally takes no more than 24 hours to have the application completed, and then for us to also run numbers for you to be able to let you know if you are pre-approved or not. Once you're pre-approved, now you can go out looking for homes. That's the fun part. You're looking for homes. You know how much you should be at when it comes to your monthly payment, purchase price, cash to close. All that should be covered in the pre-approval stage. So we're now you're just trying to find a home that fits your criteria. Loan submission. This can happen before you're under contract, but a majority of the time it happens after you're under contract, where we're submitting your loan to an actual underwriter to get more clarification on if you are qualified to purchase that property. Conditional approval. That means that an actual physical underwriter has looked at your loan and they feel very positive about where your loan is at, and that is a very good chance you're going to be able to close on that loan. And then final approval is after you're going through the underwriter a couple different times, and the underwriter gives you a green light, a clear to close, saying that you are good to close on the home. Within a couple days after the final approval, you are closing on the property. So that's the entire step, pretty much. Complete application, then you're looking for homes in the pre-approval stage, and then once you're under contract, it's only a 30-day process to get you to closing. So that's the first step, is to purchase a home. Step 2, refinance your home to pay off other debt. So what is a refinance? A refinance, very simply, is when you have your home appraised to make a modification to your loan. This modification could be to get a lower rate. It could be to change your term from 30 years to 20 years to 15 years, which if someone's trying to build the most equity, that's how you build the most equity, is by going to a 20 or 15 year. You'll save yourself 80, 90, 100K in interest by going to a 20 or 15 year mortgage. You can also do a refinance to get rid of mortgage insurance. And most important, in my opinion, is to pay off other debts. If you have 10, 15, 20 debts that you're paying in the course of a month, whether it's credit cards, car payments, student loans, et cetera, and they're totaling, let's say, $1,500 a month in monthly payments, being able to refinance your home to be able to pay off those debts is going to put you in a much better situation, not only from a financial standpoint, but from a mental standpoint as well. So this is a chart that I put together. it kind of shows you what the numbers look like going from renter to owning a home to when you're a homeowner without debts. So when you're renting, let's say you're renting $2,000 a month, credit cards 500, car 500, student loans 300 a month. That could total potentially $3,300 a month in monthly payments that you're making. Once you become a homeowner, if you still have your debts, sometimes your actual home monthly payment goes up that first year or two that you're in a home. So I don't want to make this look like a very, pro home situation, because sometimes it doesn't work out to where you're actually able to have a lower monthly payment. Sometimes your monthly payments go up a little bit once you actually own a home. So let's say in this situation, your mortgage goes to $2,100 a month. Credit cards, cars, student loans are the same. So now your total is $3,400 a month. Well, if you were able to refinance your home to be able to pay off debts, now let's say that mortgage goes to $2,300 a month, but still that's $300 a month more than when you were renting. But if you're able to pay off all of these other debts that you have that were totaling about $1,300 a month, now your total household monthly payment in debts is only $2,300 a month, saving you $1,000 a month. You just gave yourself a $1,000 raise just by owning a home and by being able to refinance. Also, if you're refinancing, that means you're going to have 20% equity in your property in order to be able to refinance the majority of programs, which means that even if worse comes to worse, you still have money in your home that you can be able to pull out at some future date, or if you sell the property, you get that 20% equity. So if it's if your home is worth $400,000, that's $80,000 that if you sell your home, you can be able to access that money as well. So not only are you able to come with a lower monthly payment refinancing, but it's still a great tool that you still have equity in your home in case anything were to happen. So major keys, interest adds up when compounded over years. This is a very good thing to understand as well, is that doing a 10-year, 15, 20-year mortgage versus a 30-year mortgage, or you doing anything that has an interest attached to it, and you do it over a short amount of time, is much more important than the actual rate. Because I get a lot of buyers that are very obsessed with rate when rate is not the most important thing. For example, I took a loan that was $100K, just as an example. I did over 10 years with 10% interest. The interest rate is 10%, and that comes out to about $100K in interest over that 10 years. You take that same loan, 100K, but it's being paid back over 30 years with a 5% interest, and you're going to be paying $150K in interest over that time. So the actual interest rate, yes, it matters a little bit, but the most important is going to be the actual length of time that you're paying off that loan for, to where you can have a loan that has a 10% interest with the same amount that you're trying to pay off, but you're going to pay less in interest over that period of time. All right. So in conclusion, buying a home and using it to pay off debt is a smooth and hassle-free way to become debt-free. Once you're free of other debts, you can look into a 15-year mortgage to be able to pay off your home quicker. And compared to renting, your mortgage will stay the same. And once you are comfortable with it, you can start making additional payments toward becoming completely debt-free. Once again, if you're a smart person, if you have a job where you're making $300K a year, renting and moving that money around towards, different business ventures, et cetera, that could potentially be able to help you out to gain money towards wealth. But if you're 95% of the population, to where you're normally going to make anywhere from 50K household income to 150K household income, buying a home, using that home to pay off those debts that you've had since you were 18, 19 years old, to now only having to pay off your home to be debt-free, is a very smooth, easy, comfortable way to be able to gain equity for yourself and for your future family. But good. I thank you all for listening to my presentation. Here's my information if you have any questions, and I am here to serve. Have a great day. See ya.